Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like someone actually told me, hey, you should definitely do Renew Your Vows when it comes out, and I am here to actually do that. So, issue 1 was released very, very shortly ago, and I finally got to stumble upon the whole entire thing and get informed of what exactly happened. So, this is going to be a little bit of a recap along with some speculation and etc. etc. So, let's get to it. So first things first is, well, let me just tell you that they actually gave us a little tasty preview on Twitter, but they don't allow you to actually download it. They actually put it in a PDF file, so you can't even. So yeah. Oh well. Anyways, so what we get to see here is that we have Peter that is in a lifestyle that we always wanted, but there is like some speculation. Like the first thing is that we find Annie. Yeah, we find that their daughter's name is Annie and not Mayday Parker or May Parker, which is first thing of saying that's kind of weird. So, with that said, I guess from speculation, there's two things that could happen. Number one, Aunt May could actually just be dead. She could actually have been dead, and this dates back all the way to, which I can't find any evidence or anything on it. I'm still webbing and trying to find it, but for right now, all I can find and remember from the high school days of mine when I was doing, before I was donning the black suit, I remember reading that Norman Osborn actually stole their baby. Yeah, and then after that, yeah, that was like the big cliffhanger that was going on. He stole the baby, and then there was a big fight, and it turns out they had like two choices. One, they could get their baby back, or two, they can get Aunt May back. So they chose Aunt May, of course, but I think this is just like what happened in MC2 universe. They chose to get the baby back, and that's what happened. But of course, we don't really get any evidence that the baby was in any danger or anything, so we're going to have to keep our eyes open when it comes to clues like that. But I will tell you, it's kind of odd that her name is Annie. Not only that, but notice the fact that Mayday Parker has brunette hair, while Annie actually has red hair, sporting after her mom. So that's another thing that is very, very interesting. Another thing you should know from the comic is the fact that there is more crime going on that Spider-Man has to handle. The reason is because Daredevil and Iron Fist are presumed dead, along with many other villains and some superheroes. And of course, we also get to see the Hulk actually die for the first time ever. Either that or his arm came off. But anyways, so Spider-Man has too much stuff to have to deal with. And of course, one funny thing would be just the fact of if they actually take place of this, but they can't do it. But I'm just saying, they could actually make this take place when Peter Parker actually quit being Spider-Man, and Ben Reilly's like, I'll take up the persona because I'm the real Spider-Man. Of course, yes, everyone wants Peter to be Spider-Man, which means that Ben Reilly will again die, which is too soon for that. It's way too soon for that. Alright, no thank you. No thank you. Well, anyways, when it comes to this, so there's another part of this story. First, we get to see a nice setup of what happened with the Parker family, and then we get to see the Avengers side of things where it's a big crazy thing going on, and Iron Man doesn't know, or any of the Avengers know, the identity of Spider-Man. So that's interesting. So that means that Civil War never happened. And of course, this is where I should say, when it comes to Brand New Day and One More Day, we are not sure if it ever happened, which I don't think it happened at all. I think this is like before whatsoever Civil War actually occurred. I think that's what most likely this is taking place. So it's that before time, before anything happened. And I think Aunt May most likely died of natural causes or because of Norman Osborn. and not by not Punisher. It was Assassin who shot Aunt May. Well, he trying to shoot Peter Parker, but he dodged. But Aunt May wasn't fast enough. So, anyways, the Avengers have to deal with this now because there's a brand new threat, and there's lots and lots of people missing. You even have the X-Men missing. And of course, Iron Man was like, well, since there's lots of people breaking out of Rikers, we could actually give you a safe place, but you have to show your identity to us and stuff. And he had to talk over. Actually, that happened after. Yeah, so the talk happened first. Then Riker Prison had a riot going out, and then that's where everything was going crazy. My side note is, even though I don't know if the Fantastic Four are in this universe, I do not know, but on the other hand, I guess they might not be because they're spread everywhere else. So it's kind of like, it makes sense that they're absent, but if they are not absent, this is a perfect place for him to go to because it's kind of like, well, they know the identity of Spider-Man, and that's thanks to the black suit, thanks to Venom symbiote. So it's kind of like he could actually went to them and they could have protected him, which that makes perfect sense to me, doesn't it? Because they already know his identity. And of course, well, if there's some reason there's this kind of craziness of, oh, well, this is still a civil war did happen, but everyone's memory got wiped clean. So that means that technically, that means even the Fantastic Four doesn't even know his identity. But Venom does, so it's kind of like, I do not know on this part. Anyways, with this thought in mind, so the Avengers have to actually deal with this new character called Regard. It was Regard. So they have to deal with this new guy, and along with this new guy, we also have freaking Venom, which, man, it's kind of like what happened before. If you guys remember when Peter had to actually get rid of the black suit, the fabric version forever. That is because freaking Venom actually visited Mary Jane and scared her she just scared her out of her wits. And then Peter had to get rid of his black suit because Venom scared the crap out of her. And, well, now you have this round 2 part which, yeah, don't quote me on this because chances are I bet he did something like this before, which I don't really have any recollection of. But yeah, now he has round 2 of freaking getting Mary Jane, and now he has Annie in his hands as well. So, it's interesting stuff that's going down here. Lots of interesting stuff. So, basically, you have a big fat showdown with Spider-Man versus Venom. And they go all the way to the part which MJ thought smart. MJ was like, we need some loud sounds and we need some fire. So she found a burning building, which, good news, they actually had firefighters there with their fire engines. So they went in the burning building, which I don't know what they could have done here, but they could have actually, if they wanted to, reference the first Spider-Man movie. But hey, I'm just saying, if they wanted to, they could have. But still, they had this unbelievable fight. And, well, it's not really a unbelievable fight. All it was just the fact of Peter had to do the ultimate sacrifice. Yeah, Peter actually killed Venom. Wow, I know this is a spoiler, but this is just a little review. But still, Venom got killed by Peter Parker. The first time ever he actually killed someone. Which is kind of like a nice little nod saying, well, you didn't see Speedock, did you? Yeah, Venom did. Oh. Huh. In this universe, Eddie Brock still has the symbiote. And that means that Flash Thompson never got it. Ah. Yeah, that's something interesting. So, yeah, that's one thing that Speedock never actually went against is an actual Venom. I mean, he went against Agent Venom, but technically Superior Spider-Man, Speedock, was actually the evil one here, cornering the symbiote and taking it for his own, even though it was corrupting him. Well, anyway, so first time ever, Spider-Man killed Venom. He killed somebody, and he hung up his suit forever. Of course, the side note is also the fact that all the other superheroes died at that moment too. Which that was the more crazier part, is the fact that he said that heroes don't exist anymore. There is no existence of heroes ever. So he hung up his cape. Not his cape, but hung up his suit. The funniest part about this is that in the MC2 universe, he hung up his suit, but not because of Venom. It's because of the Green Goblin, and Green Goblin took one of his legs. He saved his daughter, but he took one of his legs and he quit being Spider-Man, and now he has a robotic leg, but he comes to become Spider-Man again because his daughter needs some of his help sometimes. But still, he has a robotic leg now. I'm glad that this version, he quits being Spider-Man, but he doesn't have a leg removed. Thank goodness. And of course, just to make sure that everyone knows, the MC2 Spider-Man again gets screwed over because not only he loses a leg, but years later, he actually gets killed by freaking one of the inhibitors. Yeah, that was crap there. That was crap. I at least wanted a fight, but instead they're like, no, he sacrificed his life for the family. There we go. It had to happen. Which I'm like, wow, this is the only existence of them being married and etc. etc. And now we only have a new version of them being married, but it's not even guaranteed that they'll actually will stay together. Kind of sad. Kind of really sad. But anyways, so the comic wraps up with the fact of you get to see the Vulture, and the Vulture actually stole a purse from a lady. That is kind of funny. He went lowballed and actually stole a purse from a lady. And you have Spider-Man walking, and Peter Parker, of course, but it's like, dude, you need to help that lady. But instead, he's walking with his daughter. And it's like, oh my gosh, he actually had to turn a blind eye. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is as crazy as Spider-Man 2. The fact of where he's like, he gets a hot dog and watches the policeman work and etc. etc. He actually enjoys his normal life. And of course, Amazing Spider-Man 2, but they didn't ham it up. He had 9 months where he wasn't in action, which I'm shocked that they didn't actually make lots and lots of crazy stuff like Shockers, robbed a building, Scorpion, kind of destroyed Daily Bugle a little bit. It's kind of like they could have hammed it up on that one. They could actually milk that for all it's worth to make it that Spider-Man should go back to action because the city went down. Well, anyways, so this first issue, it was interesting. I mean, this is kind of like what I wanted to see, but on the other hand, I kind of hope that they'll actually have this point, because this is one I really want to see. It's the fact of, he's Spider-Man, his daughter's saying, I'm close to being late to school, and he has no choice but to actually web his daughter all the way to school on the rooftop. And yeah, that's like one part. And another part is the fact of he's fighting a super villain and he's kind of being late to the parent-teacher conference. That is another one I would love to see. The fact that he'll have a monologue saying, you know, I have a life too. I kind of have a engagement to go to. And you have MJ in the hallway saying, Peter, where are you? That is one I really want to see. I really want to see that. That's going to be so funny to see. But anyway, so this series, the good news is that this is bittersweet because, well, the good news is that you don't get to actually see that this is part of Secret Wars Battle World. But on the other hand, since you have Regard over here actually being the warden, I guess. Anyways, yeah, so he runs this New York City now. And it's kind of like, ooh. So it's bittersweet because there's some where it's like, yeah, we get to have something good. But on the other hand, it's like, but on the other hand, there's like little tiny parts to make it not really what we really want. I mean, so that's all I have to say about this comic. This comic's very good. Down below, you actually can see the comic for yourself. And of course, I guess maybe I'll have like 2 other reviews. So just in case you guys need a little bit more, you'll have those. But I don't know. I think chances are I'm just going to have that one link there. So anyways, I'm webbing out. Peace.